right, y'all. Next series video on this truck deal. We told you on the last video we was going to show you putting the axles in, and we went ahead and cleaned up the axle face and painted it to make it match the hub, make it look good. So now I'm going to put the axle in. It really ain't a big deal. It's just holding your mouth right and get it in there. But we're going to do that, and then here after a while we'll show you us putting the wheels on, and then we'll probably do one more video on adjusting the brakes. So here we go. And by the way, I'm going to put links to all the videos we got on this series. I'm going to put them in the description below so y'all can go back and look at whichever one you want to. I put a little bit of grease on the end of the shaft. That'll just help it slip in. Basically, you just guide it in there. Try to be easy with it. And in there on the inside, there's another inside bearing that's got to go through before it engages the rear end. And you kind of gotta hold your mouth right to get it in there. Sometimes they'll slip right in, and sometimes they don't. But once you get it in that inner bearing, it'll go a lot easier then. So y'all just bear with me. There it goes. All right, now, see, now it's engaged the rear end. I felt the splines go in. Uh-oh. All right, now we're gonna, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna put some RTV right along the inside of it. Now, they do make a gasket for this. That would probably be your better bet. But just a good bead of it will do the trick. I don't have a whole lot in this little tube. We'll have to squeeze it toward the end here. Just make sure you don't have no gaps in your bead. And of course, when you mash it, when you seat the axle, it's gonna mash your bead flat anyway. There we go. Let me get a rag and wipe that off. All right, and then there's these little things. There's these little things right here. I think the book calls them a dowel, axle dowel. Most people just call them a axle bushing. But basically it centers the axle, and you just want to kind of stick them in there like that. And these older rusty ones probably would have went better if I would have took time to clean them. And you can use the nuts to pull them on up. Let's see. I'll get one more new one just to make life easy on us. Now, all right, so you got a nut and a washer. We may have to chase some of these threads with a die. They're fine thread, and it don't take much for fine threads to get messed up. All right, where's our impact? Okay. All right, the next thing we're going to do is just take battery operated impact. Run them up kind of easy. And do it in a star shape, crisscross pattern. And they don't need to be super tight yet. You just want to kind of focus on getting them all started. Alright, since this is the last one, I'm going to go ahead and torque it down good. All right, now y'all, that's really all there is to it. Of course, if y'all are like me and Skylar is, them dirty nuts gonna drive us crazy. So what we'll do is we'll clean that off and we'll spray a coat of paint on it before we put the wheels on, and that'll make it look a little bit better anyway. All right, y'all, next thing we're gonna do, we've already put the wheels on the driver's side. The thing we're going to do now is we're going to work on the passenger side, and we decided to just start on the front since all of our stuff was up here. And it's hot, and we're right out in the sun, so we're working slow. But it is what it is. It's going. That's the main thing. So the first thing we got to do, on these 22.5 rims, of course, yeah, on 22.5 rims, you'll have this little old funky looking flange. And see, like on that side, it's clean. On the front, this has got to go to the outside, and then on the back, the inside deal will go in with this flange facing toward the middle, and And then the outside dual, you'll flip it around and put the flange facing toward the middle so your spacer has something to butt up to. And y'all see that whenever we make our way to the back. But anyway, we're gonna do the front now. Then what's going to hit. Whoop. It's about like fighting Joe Louis. You just gotta get it in there as best you can, and then you put the wedges on. All right, you want to start. We didn't wire wheel these. We probably should have. Have a couple nuts. No, just a couple. I don't want to get my hands flat full. And they just go on there. See, these front ones are different. They capture the loop or the flange. They capture the flange from the outside. So see what I just will put one down here. Anytime you working on wheels or something in a circle, y'all, it's best to go, you know, working in a pattern where you go kind of straight across from each other. I'm gonna sit on my block here. Hopefully y'all be able to see. Now you do need to clean these wedges up a little bit. See how it's dirty? You know, you want to get that stuff off if you can. Get them all on there and get them started. All right. Did I forget to mention that it's hot? And especially up right now, we're right out in the middle of the sun. Okay, Skylar, hand me the... Now what you want to do now is you just kind of want to run them down until they're snug, because you want to do this in a crisscross pattern, because these wedges are how you true these wheels up, and you don't want to get them. See how I'm going straight across? You don't want to get them too far out of sequence, because it'll cause your wheel to get out of, well, it just won't, your wheel won't be true. It'll wobble real bad going down the road. And these old Daytons were known for that, because people wouldn't take the time to true them up. Remember how I told y'all that we got 3/4 inch stuff, but we didn't have good 3/4 inch stuff? I can't complain a whole lot though. It's been a pretty good ratchet. This ain't a hard job, it's just time consuming. You gotta exercise a lot of patience with these Dayton wheels, and that's why a lot of people don't like them. You know, you can't just throw them on here and run them up with impact and be done. It takes a little patience. Got that one snug. What y'all think about our new rim and a hub color scheme? Ain't that's kind of nice, ain't it? That gray on black. Like I said, my buddy done his C65 this way. I thought it looked mighty good. That's what kind of prompted me to do ours. Okay, so now they're all snug. Skylar, where's our sledgehammer? Let's see. Don't reckon it matters. Now, you can use a bottle, you can use a sledgehammer, about any kind of object that you can place on the ground and stand up. And then what you want to do is you want to spin this tire and come right here. Now I want to show you. Look right in there. See that crack? See, it's a little bit off. See how the crack is changing? It's opening up, right there. And that's where it's closing up. So now we know it's closing up right here. The gap's getting narrower, which means this is kind of cocked a little bit that way. Cocked out right there because it's closer to the hammer. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring that on down a little, and the one on each side of it, I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit. Not as much as I did that one in the middle though. Now we're gonna go back to spinning. That made it better. Marcy, get them right up there where they can see it. All right, it's going away. It's very little right now, it's hard to tell. Right along in there. That's where we need to be on this one. So we're going to torque these down. I'm going to hit these just a little bit, just to make sure that everything's good and tight. All right, now we're going to repeat the process. And this is where, y'all, you got to be patient. I mean, you got to be a little patient. All right, open it up. It's real straight right now. It's real close. Let's see now. Sometimes you'll have to move your reference point a little closer to where you can see. That's real close. And I want to talk about this for a second. This is a 6-lug hub up here on the front. And I'm not an engineer. I do work with engineers every day and machining and stuff like that. But a 6-lug is going to give you a truer, you got more adjustments, what I'm getting at. So you got more fine tuning you can do to get this front tire straight. Now on the rear, we only got the 5. The steer tire is a little bit more important about getting the wobble out than the rear tires. I mean, you want to get the wobble out of, you want to get the wobble out of all of them, but definitely out of your steer tires. So I'm gonna really pay attention here. Right along in there, we got just a little bit. Now sometimes you can't see it until you speed it up. All right, right there. Now on these ones away from it, I don't hit them quite as hard. This one here is, that's where it's the most coming in at, so that's the one you want to draw in the most. Right there, just a little bit more. All right, let me check that and see. Marcy put them right up there where they can really see. That's pretty good, y'all. I mean, it's got a little bit in it, but that's pretty good. We'll take it. Skylar, look at it and see what you think, just to get a good second opinion.
Yeah, could just be a difference in the tire at that point.
Yeah, very, very little. And look here, I'm gonna drive this truck a couple of days, put about, I don't know, 15, 20 miles on it, and I'll come back and jack it up on each corner. I'll check them again. Check the torque, make sure everything's holding, and make sure there ain't no wobble in none of them. Okay, so next thing we need to do is fill the hub up full of oil. You know, we went to these different caps. I told y'all about that. This one here's got a weep hole in the middle and a fill cap right here. Most of these type, you can just pop that little red thing off and you can fill it up right through the outside. But this one's got a fill port. It's just a little Allen head pipe plug. And you just get you a bottle like this. It's got a spout on it, and then you can watch the oil level when it comes up in here. See it coming up? Now it'll take a little while. I'm gonna fill it up to right there. Give it just a minute, because it's gonna go down. See the level dropping? And the level's dropping because that oil is making its way, you know, all inside the hub back there to the back bearings. So we give it a few minutes and let it equal itself out. We'll bring it back up. Now if it don't equal out and you got it too full, it'll start coming out this weep hole right there in the middle. I mean, you know, if it's already all the way up far back as it wants to go, you know, level in there, it'll start coming out of this weep hole, which is fine. That just keeps it from over pressurizing, you know, when you're driving down the road. It looks like it's pretty close to being stable. One thing you can do is roll the tire a little bit. Of course, you can't roll it all the way around because that fill port, but you can move it like that, and sometimes that'll help it get on back there too. And this is something you'll need to check. You know, once you do it for the first time and fill it up, you'll want to go back and check it after just a little bit of driving. Thought I'd show y'all how that weep hole works. It's just about there. You can see just a little bit starting to come out. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We got to put the rear duals on and top off the rear differential and adjust the brake, so we've got quite a bit more we need to do, so we got to move forward. But I wanted to show y'all that so y'all could see kind of how those work. Put your plug back in there and just give it a good tightening, and she's good to go. Okay, y'all, so now we're going to start on the duals. We've already got one dual on there, the inside dual, and we put it on there just so we know how far to jack it up. You can take your crowbar and hang it right in here like that. When your tire, you know, is out here, lift up on that crowbar and then kind of shake it with your legs, and it'll make it easier for you to get it on. But the spacer's got to go next, so get it on there. There's that, and it's kind of leaning, you know, it's leaning out right now, which is okay. I mean, it ain't gonna stay till we get the next dual on anyway. All right, there comes Skylar with the other dual. Now, one thing I need to tell y'all about before we get too far gone is the valve stem right here. You don't want it all the way jammed up against one of your spokes. You kind of want it in the middle. All right. Same thing with the outside dual. You know, once you get it up here and kind of start getting it in position, that valve stem needs to kind of be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. It takes a little doings, you know, you just kind of got to maneuver it around. It takes a little doings to get it on there. All right, Skylar, you want to start the wedges? Mm-hmm. I'll clean them off for you and hand them to you. Sit down right there and you do that. All right, tell them what you're doing.
Just snugging up all the wedges.
Why are you doing it that way?
Huh?
Why are you doing it that way? I mean, why are you just snugging them up? Crisscross pattern, all that good stuff. Tell them why you're doing it.
Make sure the tire goes on straight and doesn't get bound up.
You want to check it and see? Kind of, yeah. I'll get you a slow timer for you.
me the brakes are on.
It should be. Brake is backed off. Here, I'll spin them for you. That way you don't wear yourself out. Just tell me where the high spot is and I'll stop.
Right there.
Alright. The one closest to you. Give it a good torque.
Oh.
Yep. Alright, let's roll it and see what it does now.
Okay, going away.
Okay.
And coming back.
Hit that one pretty good, and then maybe hit the ones on each side of it just a little. That's good. And hit the ones on each side of that one just a little. Alright.
Away. Coming back.
Tell me when.
Yeah, there. This one.
Alright, don't get too carried away.
Going away. Okay, it's coming back right around there. That one. I haven't tightened yet, so. Another one?
Yeah, you can. Alright, check it now.
Going away a little bit. Pretty dang good. Coming back just a little bit. Let me get a little bit on this one. That's pretty dang good. Bumps it a little bit right around there.
Just tell me when.
Alright, well. Move. Okay. Move. It's really dang close. You can look at it.
Here, I'll spin them faster. See what you think.
Yeah, bumps it. Bumps the sledgehammer a little bit, just a tiny bit. Whoa.
I think it's might be this.
Might be that one.
Yeah. Or hit both of them just a little.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Yeah, it's really close. Like right in there. Right in. It's this one right here.
All right. That's good enough.
Yeah.
I think. Don't you?
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Y'all, that's going to conclude the wheel portion of our video for today. We are going to do a separate video on adjusting the brakes. That way maybe some of you that care about how to adjust air brakes might like that. So we'll do that video a little bit later. But again, thank y'all for watching, tuning in, and keeping up with us. We appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. See you.